All right, so let's take some of this footwork and show the applications. We're going to begin with Aikido, the Aikido footwork. So we have Arimi, which is to enter. Now, as we practice the Arimi, we do practice it going straight in, although we don't ever really want to do that in real life. What we are going to do is hit a 45 with the Arimi in here. Like this, and then on the other side. And if you look at that, if you look at the 45 Arimi, it's the same footwork from the Filipino martial arts as the triangle. So the triangle, we're at the tip of the triangle, we step out, across, and back. Out, across, and back, so we form that triangle. It's the same footwork. We're stepping in here, and we can come across the body, and we can step back. Here. So Arimi, in. Now from here, we have either a Kaiten or a TenCon, depending on what we want to accomplish. So once we step in with the Arimi, we can Kaiten, which is just a turn of the hips, like so. A full Kaiten is going to take us in the opposite direction. A partial Kaiten will take us to the side here. So Arimi Kaiten, right like that. Arimi Kaiten. Arimi Kaiten. Okay? Now the TenCon is completely a different thing. We Arimi in, and the TenCon will take the back leg and completely step behind them. Like so. With the Kaiten, we're not moving past our uke or our opponent. We're here. With the TenCon, we're completely behind them. Now we have the rear, so we can attack from the rear. Arimi, TenCon. Arimi, TenCon here. Another Arimi, TenCon. Or we can Arimi Kaiten. Right here. And again, that falls into the Filipino footwork of triangles. So we have a triangle. Let me move this out of the way here real quick.
Go ahead.
There we go. So we have a triangle. 45-degree angles to a point, which is at our feet. Step out, step across, step back.
What did you say? No.
Here.
No, I was
Just like so. This is our triangle footwork. Now again, we're at the tip of the triangle. Now we're going to put ourselves at the base of the triangle. So from here, we scoot over, step in and up at a 45.
Oh.
All right, so
You got it.
looking at that, what we're doing here is if I'm at the base of the triangle,
Yep, that's the
what
way
I'll do is I can step out here and then step in on my opponent at a 45-degree angle going in on them.
Good. Nothing new.
The first version of it, I'm stepping outward at a 45-degree angle to their side. The second triangle, I'm actually stepping inward at a 45-degree angle,
We're going to do the body saw.
and then we can step back at a
the
45.
lunge with the rub.
So I can come in on them
Yeah, bam.
and out on them.
Step back to the lunge, row. Yeah. So that's what we're starting with.
Or we can go here.
We're doing 12 on the saw.
So those are the triangles.
6 on each side.
All right, so let's look at the triangle footwork. All right, now we're going to work on triangle footwork. And we have two variations of the triangle. One, we are at the tip, following that angle, and the second one, we are at the base of it. So the male triangle, we will be at the base of the triangle. So we're going to step across the base, and then we're going to step in on our opponent at a 45-degree angle towards them. So that now we're at the tip of the triangle, the very top. And then we step back at that 45-degree angle. And we'll practice it like this until you get very comfortable with the movements. And we can go backwards. Like so. Okay. Then we have the female triangle, which places it reverse, and you're at the very tip of it, and we are going to move at a 45-degree angle outward, where the base would be on top. Like so. Now let's see what that looks like with an opponent in front of us. All right, so this is our opponent for today. So we're going to make the assumption that this is our attacker. So this is what those two footwork look like. So we're going to do the male triangle first. Now, regardless of where you're at on the base, you can be straightforward on them, or you can be slightly to a 45. Doesn't really matter. What it is you're going to follow the base of the triangle across either direction, and then we're going to move into, at a 45-degree angle, our opponent, so that we can attack, do whatever we're going to do, and then move backwards at a 45-degree angle out. And that's the whole in 45-degree angle, back 45-degree angle, across. In 45-degree angle, back 45-degree angle. In 45-degree angle, back 45-degree angle. Like so. Each time, just stick your hand out there so that you make contact. I want you to be able to make contact with the object or the person that you're using as uke each time. You don't have to hurt them. Just make contact so that you know you're within range of striking while doing this footwork. Now, for now, this is good enough. We'll get more technical with it later, but for now, this is what I want you guys to work on. There. Now, let's move our opponent real quick. Now we're going to work the female triangle. Again, now the female triangle is flipped, and we are at the peak of it, and the base is up top. We'll move out at a 45-degree angle, across, back in.
We were just talking about doing a fight in, but you're too far away.
Here we go, just like this. So we step outwards at a 45-degree angle, across, and back at a 45-degree angle. Now let's see what that looks like with an opponent.
We're putting it together now. We do like a 8 or 5
All right.
like we're training
Again,
to get ready for
I'm at the peak of it. I'm at the tip, which is reversed. I will step out at a 45-degree angle, just like the Arimi from Aikido. Here. Do whatever I need to do here. Cross. Back at a 45-degree angle. So now I'm back at the tip. Boom. Both directions. Boom. Get out here. Touch, touch. Make sure you can touch. Make sure you touch the opponent. You'll be able to touch them at all times. So there's the 2 footworks for the triangle.
All right.
Train those, train those, train those. now we're gonna work what's called heel toe. So heel toe, we will combine with other footwork. We never just do one footwork. We combine all these together to create one massive flow of footwork. So we use our arimi if we're talking about Aikido. And if we're talking about Filipino martial art, we're using one of our triangle footworks, where we step in. Now, when we do, speaking of Aikido, when we do our kaiten, which is a turn like so, we're not just going to do a very basic Aikido turn where we just go on the both balls of our feet and just turn like so. We're going to add a little bit of effective combat attitude with this. So what's going to happen is the front foot is going to be on the ball. I'm going to lean forward slightly. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist my hips so that my knee goes in on the ball of my foot. See how that works here? Just like so. Like this. Okay? So I step in and then I turn with a kaiten like so. Like this. Boom. All right, that's more of an application version of the Aikido kaiten. Like so. It would be more like this. That's the heel toe.
Right.
Now let's see what that looks like in front of an opponent. All right, so now we're going to work the heel toe on the actual opponent.
6 per side on the lateral lunge.
Using either a rimi or triangle, however you want to define this. Come in, heel toe. It's like so. Let's get up on balls of feet. Rotate. Just like so. All right, so now I'm going to show you a variation of the footwork using the triangle, which is also the arimi in Aikido. But as we said before, we'll just start here. Say we're going to go across, and then we go back.
Very nice.
Up, just like this triangle shape, right? Now, one thing we can do is, as I'm going across, instead of bringing this foot all the way here and then scooting it back at that angle, what I can do is I take it across, and then I can take my front leg or my outside leg, and I can do a TenCon from Aikido and actually spin this around here. So I'm intersecting the very top of the triangle, well, the base of the triangle to the top of the triangle without going down that 45-degree angle like this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my back leg and scoot it. So it looks like this here. I step in at the 45, step back at the 45.
That's good.
Go across. Okay, step in. Now this time, instead of just stepping back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my back leg and I'm going to actually spin it to the back, creating what we call a TenCon. 45-degree angle. Horizontal, 45-degree angle. 45-degree angle. Horizontal. Now we're just going to TenCon back, either to the other side of the base or down to the tip of the triangle. Just depends on where you want to be when you end up. Okay. Now, talking about the TenCon, which I will show you the TenCon. Let's just run through the Aikido footwork real quick. So we have a rimi. We have several different arimis. a very basic beginning of Remy. We just enter straight. Just enter straight until you get comfortable with that, okay? Once you get comfortable with that, we start moving you at a 45-degree angle. Here, 45-degree angles. Then what we're gonna do is left leg forward, right leg forward, doesn't really matter. Steps in, and it stays there. And then I step in, and it stays in front. Same with the right leg. So whichever leg you start on, that stays in front the whole time. That's the Remy. Oshuro. Oshuro means to draw back. So if I'm here and I want to pull my opponent backwards, or I just want to step out of the way and allow him to continue to move, take my front leg and just draw back. Now, just draw back. That's called Oshuro. Now, when we're talking about the Filipino footwork, we have a box step. So, say we're at the edge of this box here. So we have an actual box. It's a square, just a square, okay? So one thing, if you're at the very top left part of the box, if you want to go to the very bottom part of the left box, all you're going to do is take your leg and just turn, and now you're at
All right, so you need your best ball for your
or you can go to this side. You can go to here. So you just follow box pattern. Very simple. If you can see that, it's just a box, right? Put a square on the mat and or floor and just follow it. That works for several footwork in Aikido. Oshuro is one of them. We draw back like so. But if we just draw straight back like this, our opponent's coming in on us, they're going to hit us. So what we need to do is move and allow them to go by us. And when we do that, we're emulating the Filipino box step. So the Japanese Aikido Oshuro falls right into place with the Filipino box step. Just like the Japanese Aikido Remy follows right in place with the Filipino triangle. So we've talked about moving forward, we've talked about moving back, we've talked about going 45-degree angles in and out. So what we're going to do now is turn. So we're going to start turning. Now there are two Aikido techniques that create a turn, and again, they will fall right into line with the Filipino footwork. The Filipino footwork falls right in line with the Aikido footwork.
One piece of business.
But working on these as an Aikido technique, we have a kaiten. Kaiten means to turn at the hips. We're going to be turning at the hips. So I Remy in, and all I'm going to do is just rotate my body that I'm facing towards the camera. I'm just going to rotate at the hips, and then I'm going to be facing away from
I can do it at the same time, or we can do it
very simple. I'm not moving my left or right legs in any other position. My left leg comes out,
morning or
and I just rotate the other direction, so now my right leg is out.
Let's see, I can tell you
Rotate,
what I have both.
left leg.
I have a,
But I do not switch
9
legs.
a.m.
Now,
No.
once that is complete, we do also what is called a TenCon. A
So 8
TenCon
a.m.
is an actual
8 a.m.
circular motion. So when I step with my Remy, my back leg will circle like a half C,
All right, 2 p.m. it is.
and I'll be facing the other direction,
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
like so.
Yep. Have a great night. Bye. Bye.
Now, the longer you do it, the more proficient you get, the smaller the circle becomes, and the less wide it will be. You can begin by circling this way out, make a huge C circle if you want. Once you get the movements, that large movement becomes small. It's still rotation in a circle. It just looks like it's becoming linear at that point.